Hi and Assalamualaikum, Mr. Haziq. We are from Group 2 and the company that we choose for our assignment is Nestle. Group consists of 8 people, me, Salsabila Usna, Yasmin Hana, Fariza Adli, Yasmin Alia, Nirma Liswari, Balkis Rustam, Natasha Fika and Nurin Shazwanis, and I'm gonna start our presentation with the introduction. So, Nestle is a Swiss multinational food and beverage company headquartered in Vevey, Switzerland. It was founded in 1866 by Henry Nestle and has since grown to become the world's largest food and beverage company. Nestle operates in more than 190 countries and has over 2,000 brands in its portfolio, including Nescafe, KitKat, Maggi, Gerber, and many others. So, Nestle's products include a wide range of food and beverages, including coffee, dairy products, confectionery, bottled water, pet food, and many others. The company has a long history of innovation and has been responsible for introducing many new products to the market, including instant coffee, condensed milk, and infant formula. Nestle is committed to sustainability and has set ambitious goals to reduce its environmental impact, improve the lives of farmers and their communities, and promote responsible sourcing of raw materials. The company has also been recognized for its effort to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Thank you.
Hello, Sir Haziq. My name is Nirmaleshwari Segaran and my matrix number is UDB210157. Now, I would like to continue with the relevant position in Nestle Corporation. Nestle's corporation has a decentralized and metric-structured organizational model, which means daily operations are left to derivations and performances of the lower branches, even though important strategic decisions are still left to made at the headquarters levels. On the organizational chart, we can see that Nestle's management is split into 3 categories, which are top-level management, middle-level management, and lower-level management. The responsibilities of each manager positions are determined by these levels, as well as who reports to them and who they report to. Also, growth, success, and employee satisfaction are addressed differently at each management level. Firstly, top-level management. It consists of board members, CEO, and the managing director. And initiatives, goals, and policies are managed by the senior management, which also serves as the final source of authority. To add on, more time is spent on organizing and arranging tasks in this level of management. Example of top management's role are recruiting an executive to lead middle-level positions such as departmental management and overseeing and coordinating all the departmental activities. They are also accountable to the stakeholders for the success of any endeavors in their company. Moving on to the middle-level management. Middle-level managers are those in departments and branches. In terms of their department's employees, they answer to the top management. These managers spend more time on managerial and administrative tasks. Their role can be seen as planning for the organization's division and also taking part in lower-level management training and employment. Middle managers also execute organizational plans in accordance of top-level managers' policies and instruction. Lastly, lower-level management. Lower-level management are also another term for operational and supervisory level management. The superintendent section, supervisors and officers and more are included in this level of management. They convey the goals and objectives of the higher levels as well as the opinions, challenges and the advisory urges of workers. This also shows that managers support the resolution of employee grievances. Their role consists of distribution of job and duties among other different employees and providing instructions and directions to employees on daily tasks. Lastly, lower-level managers are most responsible for the quality and quantity of the manufacturings. And that is all for my part. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum madam. My name is Natasha Fika and my matrix number is UDB210196 and I will be explaining regarding the human resource planning of Nestle company. Based on the human resource planning table for the Nestle company above, for the first row, it is stated that currently Nestle has 1 HR executive, but the number of employees required is 2 HR executive. From here, we can see the Nestle company still lacks 1 employee for the position of HR executive. The duties of the HR executive including managing the hiring procedures, updating HR rules, and developing referral programs. Individuals should have substantial experience working in HR department and a solid understanding of labor law in order to succeed in this position. Next, the position as sales executive is currently overstaffed as stated in the table above. The Nestle company only needs 2 employees for the position, but at this point, Nestle has 3 employees. So, the termination process will happen here. Nestle sales executives are responsible for managing the customer-facing supply chains, customer relationships, route to market, strategies, category and shopper management, and field sales operations. Same goes to the quality assurance executive, which Nestle has overstaffed. As stated in the table above, there should only be 1 QA executive required, but currently Nestle has 2 employees for that position. The termination process will be carried out in the same way as the sales executive position. Along with the other departments, the QA executive support and guides the implementation of the Nestle management system for quality in the physical logistics. He or she verifies and validates the correct application of the GMP, GWP, and all other SOPs. In addition, the position of project engineer is also experiencing a shortage of workers, which Nestle needs a total of 5 workers for this position. At this point, Nestle only has 3 employees and will need a recruitment process. The project engineer's job is to ensure that Nestle's standards are followed, encourage the development of sustainable and environmentally friendly solutions, support the startup team and management to facilitate smooth transitions to operations once installation, qualification, and verification are complete. Finally, Nestle once again has to do the termination process for the project manager position, just like the sales executive and QA executive position. This is because Nestle only need 1 employee for this position, and as stated in the table above, currently Nestle has 3 employees. So the termination process is a need for this position. The person in this position will supervise end-to-end green or brownfield projects for secondary and tertiary packaging machinery like auto case packers, tray packers, palletizers, or fit-for-purpose robotic solutions.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nuri Shazwani Petrosty and my matrix number is UDB210200. My part is job analysis. Nestle job description. A company that is the world's number 1 in health, nutrition and wellness because they continue to produce products that are not only nutritious, and this the best part coming a variety for consumers to choose from in their various food and beverage categories. Having factories and operating in almost all countries, Nestle is always looking for competence and talented workers. Okay, this is the position and the taste of Nestle. The first point is Nestle Marketing Associate job description. Working is the marketing managers. The marketing associate is involved in the formulation of the marketing plan and the implementation of this plan. Additionally, associate strive to analyze current market trends, consumers' habits, sales and advertising techniques, and pricing impacts. He assists the marketing manager in day-to-day operation. The second point is Nestle Tax Manager job description. The main responsibilities of the tax manager involves Nestle but drivers, clients, and he handles their multiple and challenging tax adjustment. He must be able to apply his knowledge of complex tax content and be able to integrate them in different client situations. Tax managers must also develop and share tax planning ideas with clients. The third point is Nestle System Analyst job description. Acting as a liaison between business processes and information system analysts attempt to create and implement project solutions, operate and support projects as defined by the business, and examine business processes for review and improvement. He was the system supporting and another information supporting to deliver management processes based on company standard. The next point is Nestle Supply Chain Analyst job description. As a supply chain analyst, you must ensure the successful implementation of the seasonal confection program and the supply customers in a cost-effective and efficient manner. It is also part of responsibilities to monitor inventory at Nestle distribute centers to ensure service levels are high and expenses for storage and transportations low. And the last point is Nestle sales representative job description. The sales representative supplies a retailer business Nestle product and at the same time ensure that condition of the retailer's stars exceed the standard set by the company, or better yet, exceeds what is expected. He must be able to analyze market data, including sales and profits, to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the retail business. Last is job specification. Specific job title that's be available from the employer include analytical cameras, assistant of the CEO, finance controller, food facilities, and HR assistant. That's all from me. Now I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Farizah Adli bin Abdul Latif. My matrix number is UDB210173. And now it is my part to explain about Nestle company recruitment process. There are two methods in the recruitment process, such as internal recruitment and also external recruitment. So what is about internal recruitment is? So internal recruitment is when a business chooses only to advertise the job within their company or only make it available to current employee. The main advantage is that it can save time and money, but it can also serve as a way to develop and motivate employee within their organization. So for example, in the company Nestle, they open vacancy to the employee who only work in their company so that they can save time, money, spend for the training program no need anymore, because they already learn and know the SOP, the work environment, the culture working in the Nestle company. So the vacancy that open in the Nestle company, for example, for the internal recruitment process is middle level or senior or executive level. So for example, more example is in the next slide. Let's go. So as you can see in the table, there are positions that Nestle company use for the internal recruitment from CEO until COO. There are two tests that HR use, which is basic recruitment test that every company use for the candidate during interview session. As you can see, there are psychometric, case study, medical, and assessment tests. These tests only take 1 or 2 hours only during interview session, but for the medical, maybe around 1 week. The next step is recruitment core test, is to verify either the candidate can do the task in their position or not. The tests are all not the same and only have in their own position. The tests take about weeks or months for HR to give feedback on how they do the task accordingly. As an example, CEO core test is to conduct an executive search for the CEO. Now is the second method that Nestle company use, which is external recruitment. So what is external recruitment? It means filing a job vacancy with an employee from the outside the company rather than promoting or transferring an existing employee from within. It can take longer and cost time more than hiring from within the organization. And to learn about Nestle work culture is taking ages. So that's the reason why Nestle company didn't use this method much to the top or middle position. They only use for entry level and intermediate only. So that's all from me. Thank you Dr. Haziq for listening to my presentation. Bye and Assalamualaikum.
Hello Sahazi, I'm Yasmin Handa binti Muhammad Razwan and my matric number is UDB210190. So I will continue my part, which is the selection process. So let's moving on to the next explanation. So as we know that selection is very essential to all company or any organization. So our company is about Nestle Sdn Bhd. So Nestle Sdn Bhd, the implement a selection process to make sure we choose the right employee to join our organization, so that our vision, mission, objective or target will be accomplished or achieved by the time given. Therefore, Nestle Sdn Berhad was provide a selection process for each position that's still available. So, do you guys know what is selections? Selection entails making certain the company has the ideal employee who is aware of the workplace culture and is able to contribute to the organizational success. And the general selection process that implemented by the Nestle is that first, employment form or resume, and then fill in the application form and submitting it together with the resume. On the other hand, initial screening and go through the application form and to ensure it is complete and relevant. And the third, pre-employment interview. This is because to conduct pre-employment interview to filter the applicant as well as to verify the information provided. The most importantly is a test, IQ test, job sample test, and a personality test. So there are various of tests, which is a cognitive ability test, personality and interest inventories, and the physical ability test, job knowledge test, work sample test. And this is very important to make sure that the new employee who is be replaced to the old position will know how important the selection process. And next is an interview, face to face with the interviewee. Next, the participant must know the background or reference check of the company. This is because to verify the information provided in the application form. This is because the interviewee will ask the participant. And next is they need to carry out the medical examination. They must pass the health examination before can be considered for appointment. And then is the offer letter. Send the offer letter to the successful candidate indicating all the term and condition of the employment. And lastly, that the employment contract. This is because to make sure that the participant was success to join the organization with the new position. This is because once the candidate understands and accept the offer letter, he or she will sign the employment contract. Last but not least, Nestle Sdn Berhad was used the three men of the method, which is the initial assessment method, substantive assessment method, and discretionary assessment method. To begin with the initial assessment methods, that the selection of internal candidates from among the internal application within the organization is the main goal of the initial assessment procedures, because it is empowers cherished personnel and it is important for the company, which is the Nestle Sdn Berhad. And the talent management or succession planning, peer and self-evaluation, managerial sponsorship, informal talk, and the recommendation are some of the technique that will be examined. And on the other hand is use a substantive assessment method, which is the applicant in the candidate pool who should advance to the final round of the consideration for the open position are identified using a substantive assessment technique that provided by the Nestle Sdn Berhad. In final, Nestle Sdn Berhad was used a discretionary assessment method. And do you guys know that certain situation call for spreading people who receive employment offers from the list of a finalist using discretionary assessment technique? By applying discretionary approach, the evaluation of an applicant's quality might be incredible, subjective, and we will go through a few of the quality that discretionary approach are most frequently used to evaluate. And and the disciplinary technique selects the candidate who are most compatible with the Nestle Sdn Bhd culture, such as the practice of separating those who receive a job offer from the finalists. Also, the decision impression makers has a significant impact. An evaluation criteria like a motivational levels and a personal organization compatibility are taken into the account in the end. And as you guys know, the three method that used by the Nestle Sdn Bhd is very important because it's by a different position for replaced with the new position. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Yasmin Alia binti Ahmad Zaki and my matrix number is UDB210146. So the findings for initial assessment methods is, for the strength is quick and easy to identify and it has low adverse effect. And for the weaknesses, it has lack of rules and it is also biased. So for the recommendation for the initial assessment method is, firstly, the initial assessment method should be provided with more ethical rules when the employer conducts the assessment on the candidates. This to ensure that they conduct the assessment fairly, professionally and ethically. Giving employers education or training on being prejudiced and discrimination in the selection process is also effective to avoid it from happening and ending up with an underqualified candidate. Moving on to the findings for a substantive assessment methods, the strength of substantive method is the use of substantive assessment method to identify candidates who should move on to the next round of interview. In other words, rather than depending entirely on arbitrary or subjective criteria, the selection process is based on relevant and objective criteria. Moving on, another strength of this method is that it enables employers to evaluate a candidate's emotional intelligence, which is important for work success in many professions and is measured by an emotional intelligence test. The ability to detect, comprehend and control one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others is referred to as emotional intelligence. Lastly, moving on to the findings of discretionary assessment methods is, the strengths are impression based on decision making and it is compatible hiring. And for the weaknesses, it has limited scope of evaluation and potential for discrimination. Therefore, for the recommendation for discretionary assessment method, employers can identify the personality of the candidates and test how well the candidate can do to the job other than focusing only on cultural fit. Other than that, giving training to employers to do their work ethically when doing subjective evaluation also prevents discrimination against certain candidates based on factors. Raising awareness that race, gender or age will prevent employers from missing on the top talents. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day. I'm Balkis binti Rustam and my matric number is UDB21010. I will conclude this presentation. To sum up, Nestle Malaysia is one of the leading food and beverages manufacturer in the country. It's known for a unique approach to the job analysis. Job analysis is the process of studying and collecting information relating to the operation and responsibilities of the specific job. It involves gathering and analyzing information about the content and human requirements of job and the context in which of they are performed. Nestle is the determination of the tasks that comprise the job and of the skill, knowledge, abilities and responsibilities required of the holder for the successful job performance. Strength of the method include being able to find ideal candidate quickly and easily, but weaknesses include potential for discrimination and a lack of in-depth knowledge. That's all from me. Thank you.